Welcome to Rauta's festival preview. This time we talk about the first new festival in Finland, Cult of Darkness. Now, mind you, this is only one day event, which means it's not really the kind of festival you're thinking of, 2 days, 3 days, or anything beyond. But first time is a first one, so maybe there's a reason why we'll start lightly. And by lightly I mean indeed one day. However, this one features 7 bands of black metal, of different styles of course, so it should cater to the needs of those who embrace the darkness with music known as black metal. Let's tune in for the lineup. First we'll start with the poster and then I go through as much as I can tell you quickly and give you a little bit of preview what to expect. So this is how the poster looks like. Cult of Darkness taking place on September 14th, 2024 at Tiivistämö in Helsinki. This is in the Suvilahti area, which is basically the same area where like things like Tuska or whatever are happening. So those who are already familiar with the surroundings should know it's easy to get into, and it's relatively close to the very center of Finland. So not Finland, but Helsinki, which means it's also around walking distance. Well, not those who are not indeed interested in walking, but let's put it this way. If you're not a handicapped person, you're able to walk there, but of course, most likely you will take a tram or a subway or whatever to reach the venue and all. Since there are 7 bands, the bands will start relatively early, which means if you're there by midnight, you're gonna miss a lot. That doesn't mean, however, you should be there around noon, because obviously nothing is happening at that era, but early night and onward we go. Now let's talk about the lineup and switch to the actual ticket selling site because it's kind of a more convenient versus logos and all. Now what starts the evening is a local band, for me anyway, Malum, which plays black metal in very kind of a typical second wave fashion. Not the rawest out there, but definitely a lot rawer than those called easy access black metal bands with so early melodic or atmospheric stuff. In my opinion, Malum is a solid band. Maybe not the most surprising act, but it combines melodies to kind of a classic second wave things. It's a very not gonna say average because that sounds kind of bad and negative at all, but to say it's kind of in the middle of the things. The kind of a middle path black metal in so many ways. Always doing solid shows, always delivering aggressiveness and grimness on stage. But, like I said, it's not the fastest, it's not the softest, it's not the most melodic black metal, but somewhere in the middle. And they are a good band to witness. If you have never ever seen them, it's a good start for everything. So they start the whole evening, and that is followed by, and I also playing Nightside. We play then again melodic, very fast-paced, 1990s kind of black metal. And now if people are gonna go, oh, you're one of those retro acts, well, I'll have the excuse that we started in the 90s and we just never shifted away from that style. So expect the Nordic 1990s dark black metal with lots of melodies, lots of fast-paced parts and so on. Then I don't really know the rest of the order in terms of lineup, so I'm making more educated guess here because the festival headliner is Archgoat, and that is then again accompanied by American band Cultus Profano as well as Gorgoroths. I'm guessing the order will be roughly so that you have Archgoat and Erks of Comor and Gorgon is playing the last 3 parts. But how Cultus Profano, X of Comor, how they really go, I really don't know. So I'm guessing probably the third band in the evening is Sacrilegious Impalement, which is already a band that I've featured on this channel with total retrospective on their career. They also play quite traditional second wave black metal with very aggressive, violent black metal, never siding too much, never going too much outside the territory of traditional black metal. I've always liked the band because they have the solid style, being violent and grim, not overly melodic, and never going soft. And always been a good band, both live and recordings, so nothing bad to say about them. Good guys also in the band, and I expect them to deliver some fierce blows left and right. Then, like I said, I don't know really the order of this, how it goes. And only band I don't know musically is Cultus Profano. They're playing their first and only show in Europe so far, which is going to be interesting for me as well, as I'm not actually acquainted with the band. So this is a big question mark for me. Should I really know the band? Probably. Do I know already? Nope. So it's going to be interesting for us Finnish audience to see what they are actually all about. Now, X of Gomor is relatively new. I mean, they didn't really start in the 90s kind of a band. And their fast and fierce metal probably combines more death and black, not only in black metal, in terms of what they're doing. Now, you can expect, once again, some aggression, some grimness, some violence. So if it seems like I'm repeating here, because all these bands so far have a lot in common, yet they also maintain the somewhat different sound. Meaning, while you're getting your dose or load of proper black metal, you also gonna approach it from different angles. So certainly all these bands mentioned share a lot in common when it comes to extreme metal or black metal alone, but they also sound like different from one another. So it's going to be interesting. I only know the drummer. He's a cool guy, and I know some of their music, obviously. Reviewed their latest album on the channel as well, and I can expect some kind of a coolness, some kind of a grim violence happening on stage. So definitely interested to see them for the first time, because this is their first time in Finland anyway, coming from Switzerland and all. So let's give our thumbs up. They're gonna be back here sometimes later. Now towards the end of the evening we go. We have two biggest, or not biggest, but big ones coming from Finland, meaning Gorgonthorus will be, I am assuming, the second to the main act in the evening. And of course you already know what Gorgonthorus is all about. Very grim, very raw vocals performing black metal, and also very lengthy songs. Some people will still think Gorgonthorus like it's the thing where this ex-Horna vocalist is doing the thing, and of course it's fair point to share, but also musically they are different. And I've seen Gorgonthorus quite a few times. We played with Nightside quite a few times with Gorgonthorus, almost like brothers from another mother kind of a situation, really. And once again, we are joining our forces for this event. And seeing Gorgonthorus live is, of course, very important, because, you know, they do fierceful and powerful show, and their style of, you know, Nordic black metal is very, very good also. But like I said, maybe the difference is between Gorgonthorus and Malum, for example. Malum goes quick and in and out, more simplistic, more barbaric output, where Gorgonthorus let it kind of a more build up the whole thing. So it's different, obviously, once again, even though we basically come from the same scene, era, and all that stuff. Now, the evening is finalized by the big lineup band that is the headliner, Archgoat. And those who know Archgoat know that it goes all the way to early 90s when these guys started. And their combination of black and death metal is obviously very, very different from a lot of these other bands, because while Nightside, for example, plays very melodic stuff and fast-paced, and Malum is more like the late 90s, early 2000s scream black metal, and so forth, Archgoat have always had these black and death combos when it comes to riffs. And even when there is not so much death metal presence with the songwriting, you can even smell some Barry or Bathory kind of stuff from the 80s or very, very early 90s. So it's a classic band for a reason, you know, because they have the strong vocals, which are more from the death metal territory, but then again blending that with goats and simplistic barbarian stuff, borderlining war metal territories. I mean, there's a reason why Archgoat is so much liked, always playing powerful shows, and in my opinion, one of the most important black metal acts coming from Finland. So all in all, while a lot of these bands have indeed something to do in common, Cult of Darkness being the kind of umbrella term for different kind of black metal here, all of these bands have different sound and style and a lot of different nuances. Maybe not so much for tourists. Tourists will be like thinking, okay, all these bands play noise and that's it, or play metal that is too much in the same territory, I don't understand it kind of thing. But as you know, people coming from black metal scene know the differences, and they are catered with some really interesting bands with really interesting styles and nuances, like said. So personally, I'm of course stoked to play there, but I also hope to get at least one interview. Let's see how it goes. Schedules are always challenging when you have a show and you have lots of bands to put into the schedule and all. And let's hope that Call of Darkness will be successful, which is partially the reason why I'm talking about. Everybody probably knows by this time that last year Steel Chaos happened for the last time, which means there was a void to be filled in October or fall in general. And I think Call of Darkness is one of those events that kind of start filling the void, because when there is no black metal oriented festival during the fall, October usually anyway, this is one of those events which is taking their part of the void to be filled. There's also other shows happening in like in my home city Turku in November, which are partially filling the show, the void here with their shows. So let's see how this goes, and hope for the best that people will find it, and let's hope that Cult of Darkness is able to expand for the coming years and all. Now, like said, September 14, put it in your calendars in Helsinki. If you have nothing else better to do, join us with some darkness worshipping black metal and all. Should you have any more information or require it, just ask me and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Off you go. See you there. Bye-bye.